In boxing, Showtime is the A side. CBS and Showtime, they came to me for another big deal. I'm like, I can't put no more money in the vault.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. is suing Showtime and Stephen Espinoza, the former head of Showtime Sports, for hundreds of millions of dollars that he claims are unaccounted for.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. just dropped a bombshell on the boxing world. He's suing Showtime Networks and its ex-president Stephen Espinoza for a massive $340 million, claiming that huge chunks of his career earnings have simply vanished. This isn't just a contract fight, it's a straight-up accusation of years of financial fraud against one of the most successful boxers ever.
And you know Floyd Mayweather as probably the richest and one of the most dominant boxers in the history of the sport. But now, Floyd is stepping into the courtroom to fight for money he claims that he was never paid, and he wants justice on his terms.
There will never be a fighter that's on my level because you have to be able to go where I go mentally. And it's hard for anybody to be on my level mentally because I think outside the box. That's why I'm always doing record-breaking numbers. That's why I'm always doing record-breaking things.
The whole case revolves around those monster pay-per-view events that redefined boxing, the clashes with Manny Pacquiao and Conor McGregor that raked in crazy money. Floyd says most of that cash never landed in his pocket. He accuses Showtime and Espinoza of quietly funneling hundreds of millions to accounts controlled by his former advisor, Al Heyman.
On February 3rd, 2026, Floyd Mayweather filed a lawsuit in California against Showtime Networks and Stephen Espinoza, claiming they helped his former advisor, Al Heyman, misappropriate a huge chunk of his fight earnings to the tune of $340 million. Mayweather says the money is still missing and unaccounted for, and he's now suing Showtime and Espinoza for aiding and abetting breach of fiduciary duty, civil conspiracy to commit fraud. Ooh, that's a serious accusation there. Conversion, unjust enrichment, and he's seeking punitive damage on top of the missing $340 million. So why is Floyd suing it, and what is he claiming? Well, Floyd argues that during his legendary career, where he generated $1 billion in revenue plus and pay-per-view money, a significant portion of the funds that he made through those events, through his fights, didn't make it into his hands because they were funneled through accounts controlled by his then advisor, Al Heyman. Now, Mayweather says that Showtime delivered those checks and funds through systems that helped Heyman get the money instead of paying Floyd directly. The lawsuit also points to some of boxing's biggest pay-per-view fights, including fights against Manny Pacquiao and Conor McGregor, events that generated hundreds of millions in revenue. Mayweather's legal team said he generated hundreds of millions in revenue for Showtime and now wants to recover what he claims was unfairly taken. So just a little side note here for some of you guys that haven't been following the sport for the last 10, 15 years and may be asking, who's Stephen Espinoza? Like you're aware of Showtime, there's still a network. Showtime Boxing is now defunct, but Stephen Espinoza used to be the head of Showtime Sports. So Espinoza played a key role in getting Mayweather to leave HBO and come to the network, Showtime Boxing at the time a few years back. Now, he's played just a lot of key roles in boxing over the years, including being crucial to a lot of the biggest fights in the last 10, 15 years of boxing. And he was in charge of Showtime's boxing operations from 2018 until the division shut down in 2023. Now, Mayweather is alleging that Espinoza and Showtime actively participated in the misdirection of his earnings and are responsible for helping Heyman carrying out this alleged financial scheme.
While Floyd was untouchable in the ring, money was disappearing behind the scenes. After changing management, his new lawyers demanded Showtime's financial records from his biggest fights, only to be told the documents were lost or couldn't be found. He clearly points to Al Heyman as the central figure, yet Heyman isn't even named in the lawsuit. The focus stays locked on Showtime and Espinoza.
It's possible that it's the reality. It's possible that Floyd Mayweather is suing Showtime. And this is massive because Mayweather left HBO to Showtime and they did a lot of major fights together. Major. Like you're talking about the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. It was a joint HBO and Showtime. You're talking about all of Mayweather-McGregor was a Showtime fight. So some of the biggest fights in Floyd's career were on Showtime. Floyd is suing for $340 million. $340 million. Will they settle and give him like 100 or 200 million to go away? Will they take it to court and risk losing even more?
Why go after the network and not Heyman? Some think Floyd's long history with him makes a direct lawsuit too messy. Others believe it's a clever strategy to trace and expose the money trail. Floyd's argument is clear. Showtime didn't just let the money slip away, they actively helped redirect it.
Al Heyman was so good at his job that he was clowning these networks. He was out negotiating the networks to the point where they were giving you an inferior product because his fighters were getting overpaid for lesser fights.
We weren't getting overpaid.
In that,
we weren't getting overpaid.
For every dollar made.
Freddie Hernandez.
Yeah, right.
This is the golden child of Al Heyman right here.
But it is admirable that Al Heyman not only did his job so well, but was helping fighters get rich while he was doing it. He created a climate where fighters started to begin to believe that they were worth more money. I don't mean to me. You're worth all the money in the world to me, the fighters. But I mean to the marketplace than they actually were. And so now it became difficult to make fights.
I mean, you really want us to change our mindset, right? The fact that we were putting our health in jeopardy every time we stepped in that ring. So we had to make sure to get every penny that we could.
Yes.
Every time we stepped in there. I mean, that's the mindset that he put in our minds on a regular basis.
And good for him. But when he does his job that well, then Andre Berto doesn't have to take the best fights to make the money, and now me as the consumer doesn't get to see the best Andre Berto fights. My point is, fighters started thinking that the market was different than it really was, because Al was juicing the market. In that climate, big fights stopped getting made, because fighters are thinking, I'm making all this money for not taking a risk. You want me to fight that killer, or their managers want me to fight that killer for not much more money? Into that terrible situation for the consumer stepped Turkey Al Sheikh, who said, oh, okay, wait, what are your petty differences? It's over $1 million or $2 million? Here it is. Here's my gift to the boxing world. Everyone take this fight. Now the problem is...
He's overpaying. Like I said, I'm not mad at that. If you're going to give me the money, I'm going to fight whoever you want me to fight.
But Trey, now the problem is... Boots and Virgil can't get made for $6 million plus for the fighters? You think the average person on the street in this country knows who Boots and Virgil are?
In boxing, Showtime is the A side. CBS and Showtime, they came to me for another big deal. I'm like, I can't put no more money in the vault. You know, we about to make the earth flip upside down. Y'all give me some more money. I want them to write the check. You know what I've learned, throughout the years. And I said this before. A boxer makes money when he's boxing. A dentist makes money when he's working on teeth. A car salesman makes money when he's selling cars. But New York real estate, you make money when you sleep.
That's right. Tell us about that watch, Floyd, really quick.
Oh, this is, a little summer look, little bright colors. You know, I got these like Miami colors, bright colors, happy colors. You know, why should I be mad? A little G-Shock, but I done it a little bit different. I made it rose gold. Put a couple rubies right here. It's 10:42, kind of late, but dinner time. We're in Sin City. We don't sleep. We don't have a ball tonight.
This lawsuit officially kills what used to be a tight partnership. Espinoza once pulled Floyd away from HBO with promises of bigger paydays and total control. They stood side by side at press events back then. Now Floyd is hitting them with claims of unjust enrichment and straight up taking what was his. Showtime Boxing shut down in 2023, so whatever records are left are finally coming under the spotlight, and if even the richest fighter can allegedly get cheated, what chance do the others have?
And I feel like you can't go wrong with New York real estate. So what I did was, in one of my portfolios, because I don't know the exact number, because they said if you know how much money you got, you really don't have no money. So if you know how many buildings you got, you don't really have no buildings. So I think I own right now somewhere upwards of 100 buildings or more. And in 99% of my buildings are in New York City.
Wow.
Yes.
I also want to say a cool thing I saw that you did. You donated millions of money and buildings to victims of the LA wildfires. And I saw that. That was a cool thing you did.
I feel like if you're in a position to give back, why not?
This could blow the lid off the shady money moves in boxing, where advisors and networks shift funds in ways most fighters never fully understand. Floyd isn't just chasing his missing $340 million, his team calls it a deliberate betrayal, so he's also demanding extra punitive damages.
The lawsuit could have some pretty serious implications, not only for Floyd's legacy, but also for how networks and advisors handle fighter compensations. Mayweather wants hundreds of millions back plus punitive damages, pushing this beyond a simple accounting dispute. If the court rules in his favor, it could open the door to more scrutiny of boxing's behind-the-scenes financial relationships. So this is kind of nuts, man. Wow, taken aback, surprised by this. I'm thinking, how did Floyd come to this? Like, did he ask for an audit of like prior books? Like, I'm real curious about that point. Like, how, according to him, allegedly, this all happened and how he became aware? Was it something where books were made available, or he's going through his own accounting, or if a third party came in and was like, hey, you need to ask for an audit for reporting of revenue that came from all these events, and they figured on their own, like, hey, you're short a couple $100 million. It's nuts. It's really crazy, actually, because up to this point, it seemed that Floyd and Espinoza had a really good relationship. I would imagine this probably caught Espinoza off guard. We haven't seen much of Stephen since the closure of Showtime Boxing. I know he was doing some consulting work for PBC in terms of the production, getting the production up and running for their shows that they have on Amazon Prime. But naming him on the lawsuit, wow, and not naming Heyman, that's another interesting thing, because you would think Heyman as the advisor, the manager, would be, and this is just me thinking, like, somehow would be involved with it. No, or I don't know how the exchanging of money was going, but all this is pretty nuts.
The whole world is watching this legal battle unfold. Can Floyd win the most expensive fight of his life? The guy retired undefeated at 50-0, and now he's fighting to protect the fortune he built. Will he get the $340 million back, or will those lost records block him? One thing's for sure, Floyd never goes down easy. Like this video, subscribe, hit the bell, and tell me in the comments what you think. Stay locked in for the next update.